Hi, Joel Rollins here for Rave Radio on day one of InfoComm 2016, and I'm fortunate enough to be sitting here with Garry Wicka of LG. Gary, thanks for being with us.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me today.
We've been talking up until we started shooting here about some of the stuff that LG has done. I was my product of the year choice at ISE this year was your two-sided OLEDs. You've probably got a lot of exciting new product along that line here, right?
We do. We're really kind of taking a look at the whole OLED architecture and what it's able to do. So you'll see some new fixtures. You're going to see those great, amazing dual-sided curve that you saw previously. You'll see them kind of a little bit more finished product as we're actually bringing that to market later this year. You're going to see some great things that you're able to do from an open frame standpoint, so customized work, really starting to look at what are the advantages and things that OLED bring to the market that you really can't get with any other technology.
I've been following OLED as a devotee for years because I'm heavily involved in the virtual reality market. Mm-hmm. And OLEDs have been used in virtual reality headsets and visors for quite some time. And smaller things, camera displays, because of their resolution, those kind of things. But what I saw at ISE this year just blew me away. The 65-inch curved ones were.
Yes.
So you probably are the premier organization for the development of the OLED.
So we are.
Yeah.
So LG really kind of took a lot of leadership role in OLED development a few years back. Is really the leader, probably almost to a 100% market share when you think about the consumer space, and really has been honing in that experience, the technology, et cetera, for a couple of years now. Really, they highlighted that at CES with the launch of the G6, which is one of those unique ways where you take OLED and it's actually mounted on top of glass instead of your traditional display being behind glass. So it was really kind of a unique way to see it. You take that a step further, we introduce OLED commercial at ISE and at DSC. We have the big press announcement, viewing of it, and now we're just taking that a step further. You're really starting to see our dual-sided OLED models where you can mount them, on a standalone pedestal. You can mount them from the ceiling, rotating. You can mount them from a wall. That is actually a product that's shipping next month. So a lot of people are always amazed because they're going, well, we see stuff in booths, but it really doesn't ever come to market. It's not something, and we already have our first orders for it. So we're really excited that we're announcing that this is something that is shipping next month, and then more importantly, our dual-sided curved one, the one that you love so much, will be shipping later this year.
I thought that was just perfect for middle of a room in a museum or something like that. But for those of you who aren't aware, when Gary says two-sided OLED, he means a different picture on each side of a very thin monitor, right?
Yes. So as you mentioned, the models that we're bringing to market are dual-sided.
Right.
Because of the paper-thin effect of OLED, literally you can stick two of them together almost back to back. And in fact, in the booth this time, we've got a concept of showing two of the actual just OLED pieces, what we call wallpaper, back to back, and it's actually within a piece of glass. So if you get a chance, anyone that's viewing this, please stop by the booth. It is very, very exciting because you're really getting to see, what does a paper-thin OLED display actually look like? You can see it firsthand.
The very idea of OLED I find exciting. Can you give us like a 1-minute explanation of what makes OLED different?
Sure, absolutely. So the huge benefit around OLED is that it's its own light source. So each pixel is its own light source. So you can literally turn off each pixel and get, first and foremost, what we call perfect black. There's no other technology in the world that will allow you to get this type of blacks that you get out of OLED. It also gives you really the best part about it is infinite contrast ratio. So a lot of times, for years, people have talked about different types of contrast ratio. We want to get to this level. It's limitless as you look at OLED. And then just the actual structure, there's a huge benefit around the weight around OLED. It's much lighter than other technologies because you don't need as many layers to make OLED. So, with an LCD panel, you needed several layers of backlights, etc. You don't need that because it's its own light source. You get better viewing angle, and then one of the other benefits of it being its own light source is you get better color.
Right.
So really, it pops. It gives you a viewing that you wouldn't see in anything else.
He's 100% right about that. I mean, one of the things, I really wasn't all that aware of the technology and I thought I sold LED monitors that had really good blacks.
Yes.
But it's nothing like that. You've never seen any, because each pixel is actually its own light source. There is no leakage from any of
Yes.
the neighboring pixels, and blacks are really, really black. Whites are almost so brilliantly white they'll hurt you. Now, the other thing that's exciting about it to me is OLED is flexible.
It is.
And as you said, paper thin. I'm a staging guy at heart. I am seeing scenery flats covered in this, where
absolutely.
I can change scenery by simply changing the input.
Well, and what you mentioned around curve, something also that's in our booth, and a lot of people are asking about it. We've got an archway, and ideally we'd love to do a tunnel, but it doesn't quite fit in a booth as well. This is something where we can take the OLEDs and customize them. So we actually worked already in two large deployments, one in the Incheon Airport in Seoul, Korea, and then also N Tower in Seoul. The one in Incheon Airport is a giant archway. I believe it's 185 panels, 186 panels, something like that. But they're all customized into a certain bend, so that it creates an archway hanging from the ceiling. Then on top of that, when we get to the North Seoul Tower, we actually created a wave ceiling to create a different experience as you're walking through it. So it creates texture. Not only are you looking at it, you get that curved capabilities, but you get that true ultimate black. And really, when you combine that too, it created a tunnel system that is just phenomenal. So these are that iconic deployment that you're able to do with OLED that you really just can't do in anything else. I mean, we talk about it. You can hang these from the ceiling. You can hang them from the side. You have the flexibility options. This is not something that you're going to buy out of a box, of course. But it is all things that we can do actually today, and we're already deploying. And so if there's opportunities, we'd love to explore those opportunities. We've got a few things in the works with some great names, big brands and names out there that want to do something that's different, that hasn't been done before. And that's really where that OLED technology comes into play and allows you that flexibility, from an actual perspective of it being flexible, but also just the actual different sizes and shapes that you can do.
For those of us who are dealers, and I'm sitting here thinking projects, right?
Yes.
What are commercial availability timelines going to be like on this?
Well, so the great part is our dual-sided flat OLEDs are actually shipping next month.
Really?
By the end of the month. So you'll see we've got a 55-inch that's dual-sided, and it's flat. And again, that's the one that I mentioned, that it can be on a freestanding mount. It can be hanging from the ceiling. You can actually have an option where it rotates 360 degrees, and then another one where it's actually mounted vertically onto a wall. That is something that we already have orders for and is actually shipping. The dates for our curved OLEDs, the one that you saw that you so famously like, I appreciate that, by the way, will be shipping later in the year. Yeah. So that is something that is going. From a customized perspective, that's something that we can do today, but it does take an extra step. It's not something that you're going to be able to go turn around in 2 weeks. It takes some time. You've got to have a design.
It's been coming
agency
on for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the research that you've put into it has taken years.
Yes.
I've tracked OLED since I'm a photographer. My camera viewfinders are OLEDs.
Yes.
Right? And
you see OLED technology in a lot of different stuff today.
Right. But seriously, the large displays just at ISE stunned me to the point where I had to do a stand-up from in front of one of them. So.
No, absolutely. We love having you guys, talk about it, look at it, but more importantly, it's really getting a chance to see it. So any of the viewers, it's great to hear about it, but if you get a chance, really stop by the booth, get involved with what LG is doing. We've got different road shows, we've got different events throughout the year because we do want to get this technology out in front of our partners, our customers, so that you get a chance to see it. Because once you look at it and you get to see the advantages, it's a no-brainer. You're going, really, I understand what is the future of technology, the future of displays. And then, of course, as we do that, we'll have a ton of stuff online to talk about it, show the advantages. You can go to LG.com, commercial display, and actually get a chance to see this. There's lots of stuff coming, and really, this is just the future. We've got some great stuff that we'll be announcing throughout the year, and I think this is just the beginning of what you'll see OLED capabilities.
I fully believe in that. Obviously, we will be doing videos from the LG booth with all of those products. And for those of you who can't wait for those to be posted, you can take a look at my video from ISE 2016. And I did a stand-up from in front of these displays. They are worth seeing. Garry, booth number again?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't remember off the top of my head, but
Big LG sign.
yes, that's so funny that you say that because I just completely blanked that. But we'll look on it. Big LG sign. I appreciate the time today, and we look forward to seeing everyone stop by.
Great. Gary, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely, thank you.